of Manchester United, tackling Manchester players and giving assist to opponents.
Yeah, from to my working area to Clarence
Mr.
to now
Speaker,
go to the man. To go Stina.
when even the opponents fail to score, Maguire will score for them.
How you question me, man? The thing you want for me to explain for you to understand, then you still questioning me, doubling the question. How many talk clear now?
Okay, let's go now. I beg you, sorry.
I see.
When I call you in the name,
when a man call me in the
yeah.
He asked me, say, how many of you are working to the area? I say, we are 3.
He told the man, say, you're 3.
Yeah. So he said, I want to give you tea to carry to
The man say, you want to give you what?
tea. Have tea.
Oh, milk tea?
Yeah.
For you to drink?
With bread.
The bread?
3 pieces of bread.
With egg inside?
With egg inside my butter. So when I carry it to the man, say carry it to the man. When you give it to the man, then you must come back to the car.
So the food the man give you now, you carry it so you can go convince your friend now.
Yeah. When I give it to the man, the man say thank you. I say okay. The man say, oh, where you going now? I say, oh, I'm going right here. So one of my friends called me.
Yeah, the same man you going to now.
Yeah, the same man.
And the man tell you say he want for you to go steal.
No, yeah. So when I go to the man, he say clean the car. Then they are 2 now.
In a jeep.
Then they are 2.
A big jeep.
Yeah. Black BG. 4 doji.
4 doji.
Yeah. So when I clean the car now.
Air condition all inside.
No. Papa, you can't wait for me to spin now. I'll leave the whole town now. You can judge people.
I just asking you a question, sorry.
You can judge people like come here.
No, I'm a journalist. I beg you, sorry.
The way you double in the question, you say when I move from here, I'll free. You say when I move from here, I'll free. If you say one talk again, I wanted to make a whole talk clear to you, but you double in the question. Hi, looking, then you want force and no more word again. Why not be looking to the top?
But there was
they call me to the office and go and speak.
The tea is made to me, they come together. You say you get a tea to the man. After you get a tea to the man, and you come now. So what next now?
And for me, power, not fair.
a player in the Ghana kingdom.
Hey, that's me. Say make your egg and bread. Okay, sorry. Now I say sorry now. Okay, sorry.
If you
I will not ask you the question again. Okay, sorry.
When I give you answer now, then.
Good afternoon, wherever you are in Monrovia.
No more question again. Okay, that's why.
Yes, the program ABC High Talk.
Sorry.
And of course, I'm Joe Nutwa Wanda. I'm back on your radio. You know, it's either be Thursday or Tuesday. But also thanks to the team, man. Yeah, the likes of Theo Williams and of course Anthony Jeffer. They've been upholding the platform until we can be seated here. What do we have today? A lot on the plate for us, eh? Let's take a few bars of our team song.
Only Jesus. No CIDNSAS.
But there was a player in the United
would make me to accept it. No kind of a report would make me to agree that if Tillaman was in the car on Broad Street having sex, whereas when we went there, I was...
Okay. Let's bring down the team song, and we got like almost 12 or 13 minutes, make it 14 minutes after 7 o'clock. Did I say 7? Hey, I don't know, knock my hair with collage. It's almost 14 minutes, make it 15 minutes after 4 o'clock in the city of Monrovia. So sorry when I say 7. Yes, 7 in perhaps somewhere in Australia, somewhere in New Zealand, somewhere in Asia, somewhere around the world. 7 o'clock is some kind of thing happening somewhere. So be my guest while I'm here. And what do we have on the plate? We have a lot on the plate this afternoon. One of our visually impaired brother is here. He have been putting up a lot of SOS, kind of the pew up there. He got some serious domestic problem, and we thought that as an institution, that is our social corporate responsibility to you, the listener, to come and use our platform, to just give him a few minutes to be able to talk to the public with respect to the plight that he's faced with. He got serious, problem, and we thought that talking it from himself, you will believe exactly what is it coming from and where we're talking about. So he's already been seated, he's been arranged, in the studio. By my producer, Ishmael Smith. So in the JFIC, you will hear the voice of my first guest. That will be, we'll just few minutes with him. We'll be talking about some domestic issues. He visually impaired actually, and he here to explain some plights that they are faced with, particularly he and his family. So we thought to give him, a portion of our, airtime to him to talk about it and see what best we can do, because that's our job, our social corporate responsibility there, to make sure that Liberians from all around the world and wherever you are to know and hear about what is happening home, those that need you and those that don't need you, and those that whatever it is, and blah 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 and blah. Okay, so I guess my guest is prepared now, so let's get him up quick and to start talking to him, because the time is fast spent. So again, it's my pleasure, Mohammed Cannon, to have you seated here in the ABC studio.
Well, thank you, Uncle Joe, for inviting me here. Let me say thanks to you and thanks to the senior management team of this great institution. Thank you very much.
Okay, I think, let me see. Please talk. I'm trying to get you. Okay, yeah, all right. That's better. Okay. Well, that's the voice of Mohammed Khan. So, Mohammed, the last time you called on this platform, we were discussing, and I felt that the best we can do is to bring you up in studio to talk the issue of yourself, the problem that you have, and what the assistance that you need from the public out there. So the opportunity is yours now to be able to, showcase yourself in terms of explaining to the people what is it that you are faced with.
What? Let me once again say thanks to the.
Please adjust his mic. His mic is kind of. Please adjust his mic, Mr. Producer. Yeah, let the audience hear him good.
Okay. Once again, let me say thank you to this great institution of ABC radios, and for the public. My name is Mohammed M. Kanentiyon. I'm a resident of District 16, Monserrado County, and I live behind Simiri Catholic School, Mawofio Labiro, on the Bushel Island. What I have, I'm on physical challenge of vision impaired person. I have a low sight problem with my eyesight. Also, I graduated from the Wesleyan Academy High School on Corey Road since 2012. Before I start to experience this eye situation with my eyesight. I was once taking treatment before at the time from former Senator Sumo Kopis, the late Senator Jordan Sharif, former Senator John Sumo, and others at the time. Because my eyes condition were very, very much bad with me at the time. People used to hold me, walk around with me, and not even to see anything at all. See what when I started to take the treatment, I started going well. It was a little bit improving. But since that time, the medication, because I was taking the treatment on some government officials at that time, and I was getting some financial support from them. Even my rental aspect and other food, they were doing it for me. But since then,
so let me find out something. So the last 5 years, nobody have come to your aid under the CDC government?
What? Not really exactly, to be very honest, because sometimes people say I can be very much tough on government, and my talks on government is all about the way in which we, as a disabled and vision impaired citizens in this country, we have been marginalized seriously. Government has not been able to pay full attention to all. So that's why sometimes when I'm called on radio station, even to ask for assistance, merely my medical attention and my rental situation, for me to really get assistance from the government angle, it has been very much difficult for me. Even at the time, Senator Sir Joseph, at the time he was a representative at the time, once from 2013, I even wrote communications to him before. Before that, he was on Fabric Radio before. At that time, when I make a call to him, and when then he even told me to even reach to him, I kept up being of it. I went to him, even makes me right opposite the sport commissions. I went there, and then I office at the end. I was not even able to see him in person. We used to talk on telephone here myself, but since then, it has been very much difficult for
me. And you didn't get anything from him?
I did not even get anything, because he even promised me before that he was even to take me at Sierra Leone on my medications at that time. But since then, it's been very much difficult. And I can't even.
How long has that been?
It's been more than 2-3 years plus now. Yes.
And you gave up in going still to him.
I even gave up on him because since then, at the time, I even used to go to the office, and then some of his even my medication or my medical certificate, even I office up to now. I call him. I walk to the office. I did not even get a $5 Liberian for him.
So what the office staff normally say when you get there?
Oh, sometimes when I used to go there, they would tell me, say, oh, the chief not yet. The chief tell you to come here, and he says, he don't yet. And sometimes when we talk on the phone, you say, oh, can they come to my office? Can they come to my office? Even some of the journalists, even from Fabric, or they even aware of this story that I'm even talking about. When I talk. At the end, I walk. I did not get anything.
Okay, now, Kanan, you the opportunity availed itself to you now. You are being locked down to Liberian, both home and abroad. Politician, non-politician, society dwellers, they are listening to you now. So you can talk to them.
Well, thank you. It was, I think, for the past 1 or 2 weeks ago. Normally, I listen to a lot of houses. 99% of the registration in Morofio. I'm one of the followers if you come to information in this country. But my problem I was facing here, I've been facing this problem on the issues of my rented aspect. Okay, and then I'll hold my landlords 1 year, 6 months rental fee,
which is
by the amount of $15.15, which is in the tune of $270.
$270.
But he even gave me the green lights. He told me that you forget, you waive the 6 months, but the 1 year, if I go up, I come down, I have to pay the 1 year fees, which is $180. And since then,
so he want you to give you $180 now. He waived somehow.
Yeah, he waived the 6 month fees. So I mean the 6 month rental. I was to pay. I was supposed to pay the 1 year, which is the 12 months, which is in the tune of $180 USD. But since then, I have not been able to even meet up with my application on the final aspect on this issue of this rental. And I can't go on the street to go and even pick around. No, because sometimes I will even receive a lot of words from people. So since I'm always close to the radios, the best place I can crack on, the best alternative that can be given to me is no one else but on the radio station. That's why most of my friends I'm friendly with, they found the media background. So I was opportune to call on your platforms. I think it's rolled out last week, and then God Cash Heart, he was able to tell me for me to find yours. He told me that you are supposed to host me sometime this week, and definitely God answered my prayer today. I was opportune to reach out today.
From all indication, that's the work of a media institution to always give back to society. Our social corporate responsibility are some of what we are involved with you today. Give our platform to being used to talk to the public for disabled people, even people that are physically, fit and they have challenges. We do similar things. So it is part of our TOR or part of our social corporate responsibility to you, the audience, because without you, we are nobody. Because if you don't have radio, we'll be talking here to ourselves. Because you listen to our programming, so it's now. My concern is you're not the first group of a person that's talking about neglect in the society, especially from officials of government or the body responsible for other to take care of our less fortunate brothers and sisters in society. Why is it that almost everywhere you turn, there have been over crying some time ago that their budget was cut down. They are not receiving anything. They're trying to evict them from their place. And all of your problem almost similar. Eviction, at which you are. So what is happening? They say you're political. What's about the Abino people too? Are they political?
Even the last time I followed or registered, I follow on news by the Abino or the head Madam Patricia's looking. Even she was said she was she was in tears, okay, because her institution had been abandoned seriously, and she been working up and down. I think man, particularly looking my first time to see us, I saw at the Capitol building. At the time, I used to go to Senator Sumochi Kopi office from Lofa County. At the time, he was serving as a chair on Waste and Finance. Even the former Senator Sumochi Kopi, he even sponsored me before in school from Wesleyan. He used to help me. Even at the time, he was also appointed at the LPRC as a managing director there. Also, even the time the late Dennis Samuka, I think you're one of your former colleagues. Yes. He and Jala Griffith, OKFN, they were on the platform. I even called on the platform on the scene when the issue or senator, or at the time he was not a senator again, but he was the director of LPRC. He was listening to the platform. He told my number, he called me. He even sent someone to the house to pay the fees for me at that time. Yes. And then he even told me that he even lost my contact at that time.
Okay. Now, a lot of the people are listening to you. Like I said, the opportunity I availed itself. So, talk to old friends. Talk to new friends. Talk to other Liberians. These are the situation that I found myself in. I cannot afford to pay. My landlord helped me to reduce it to 6 months. The 6 months will cost me $180 US. Somebody can come to my aid now. I'm needed, because other than that, I'll be evicted. And where do I go?
What? It is true, Uncle Joe. That's why I'm here to appeal to each and everyone under the sound of my forces, whether from Liberia, outside the countries. I'm once again appealing to each and everyone under the sound of my voice from this institution. I'm asking the public in the tone of $180 United States dollars to pay my rental fees. I can't go anywhere to get this money from anyone. You can even work around whole day. You can be able, someone can help you with a piece of bread or donuts or 1 spoon of rice to eat. But the shelter is one of the important things in this country. Yes. You see, I lost my mother's August 13, 20, or I lost my mother August 13. It was August 13, 20, I think 20 or 21. Yes, 2021. Even my stepmother died to 20 or the same August 20, 2022. My born mother died. And even at the time my mother died too, she died at JFK. There was no ways for me to even get a funds. Or Joy FN's people at that time, they even helped me to raise a fund for me to get my mother buried from JFK. Yes. Like I said, the people, those from the media background, I'm friendly with 99% of them. Anytime if I cry on them, they always listen to me. They always help me to give me an airtime on most of the platform. So I'm here again to appeal, to cry on the public to see how best they can come to my aid. Yes.
So can you announce a mobile number that they can reach you by, because most people don't have the time to come to go way down to Douala there behind St. Mary's School. So we're looking for Kane.
Yes. My Lone Star MTN number is 0881 71 32 02. 0881 71 72 32 02. 0881.
Take your time.
0881 72 32 02.
Then go by again. 0881
72 32
yeah
02.
02. That's your Lone Star mobile money number.
Yeah, and the orange number is 0770 30
yeah
28 41. 0770
yeah
30 28 41.
Okay.
The both number registered in my name.
Spell your full name because some people they want to know how you spell the full name.
Yeah, capital MOHAMMED.
Yeah. Okay, Mohammed.
And
And
the
the last
Kane
one.
is
Yeah.
KANNEH.
KANNEH.
Yes.
So when they go to NM boot to send money, they should make sure they need appear Mohammed
The name
Kane.
will appear Mohammed Kane.
Okay, and when they finish, they can call you on the same number.
Exactly so.
They say, "Oh, and I send something to your mobile money number."
Yes.
Huh?
Yes, Uncle Joe.
Okay. So, well, time is fast spent with you. Is there another thing that you got on mind besides what we call you for today? Any other thing you got on mind that probably?
Well, I don't have any other issues. This
Okay,
is,
no, we're talking about rent now, but what about the medication? Because it's also important. What if you get rent today and probably come tomorrow again for sickness and you're not taking a medication? So you're not talking about I want to.
the medication. It is important. It is important. Yes. Even I believe Uncle Joe, because one thing is, the first thing is the shelter is very much important to me because I only have between now to the end of this technical April month, and this month is ending on Sunday, which is going to be the 30th of this month. It is very much serious. It's very much important. If I don't have this finance between now to the time, definitely I will not see myself going back anywhere again.
Okay, we'll open the phone lines. I'll open the phone lines. Don't worry, I'll open the phone line. I just want him to talk, because you were talking about your medication. You're not taking it. $5 can make the difference. $10 difference. Don't say, oh, they low $5 got that. This $5 can make the man to have something. I mean, to carry home and be able to take care of the children. So we're doing our part. So we look up to you. Librarians are giving people. I know how you can give to churches. So let me hear from you now. 0777 105 100 and 0555 105 100. So we're calling on every librarian from all walks of life. Please call now and identify yourself with Muhammad Kane. Muhammad Kane needs your support. He needs your dollar. He needs your $5. He needs your $500. He needs that $1,000. He needs that $2,000. It can make a difference in his life, because how will you feel tomorrow you hear that Muhammad Kane, who can always call on the radio, who are talking on ABC Radio the last time on Hot Top program, they now pulling out of the house. We saw you and your children standing by the roadside, all the mattresses, they ring and beat. You feel happy about it? So call. Today is Muhammad. Tomorrow you don't know who it may be. It could be you, or it could be any relative of yours too in similar situation. And you will come and call on us here, and we'll provide the medium for you to come and sit and talk to the public. So wherever you are now, we'll get the next 5 minutes. Let's see whether we can get calls from you to talk to him. Because he's seated here. Muhammad, while we're waiting for the call, maybe some people, even beside the name you call, other people that you can remember now what you were discussing, you can use the same time to still get back to them, and appeal to them and tell them thank you for what they have been doing, but your problems still continue, because the situation today the country faces, with everybody feeling it. Whether you're blind, you're not blind, you're crippled, you're not crippled, everybody feeling it. So if somebody can come now, talk to them too.
Oh yeah, like Mr. George Calanos, I would say thanks to him. Okay, Uncle Joe, like when I appeared once on Mr. Calano radio station before, Super FM, or at that time, or my little brother hold my hand, drove me, and on the Congo town.
Yeah, opposite SOS.
Yeah, opposite SOS.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's almost about 3 to 4 years ago. When went there, at that time he very safe. He was listening to the radio station, and he called. When he called and he pledged to give me the amount of $500 United States dollars. He never even told me that go and come back, or he told me after I leave the studio, I would definitely be able to receive the money. And I received that cash. And when I received the cash, I spent 99% on the fees at Copper Clinic, SD Copper Clinic, because there's like you play, I was taking my treatment before.
Okay.
Copper Clinic on 12th Street to the art center. I spent 99% of that money there. That's why we're doing some little bit of improvement in my eye. And
you still calling on Councilor Bobby Calando to still look your way.
Mr. George Calando, even other people, like Senator Kupis, former Senator Kupis from Norfolk County, former the former information minister at that time, to the government, or that of Lauren Boblex. Yes. Or sometimes, sometimes you can also stretch hands to me to buy 1 or 2 foods. And I also want to use the medium to call on them whatsoever the earth to see about. Let them look in my situation for now, because it is not easy. I turn life, I turn right. No one else I can go to ask anyone, but my only area I can see her best publicly to make this appeal is on radio station. No one else. It is very much important.
Nowhere else I got to turn besides my media friends to come to them to say, please give me at least 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Let me beg the people outside to get something to be able to eat and take care of my children.
Exactly.
The mobile numbers are again 0881 723 208. 202. 0881 723 202. That's the Lone Star number there. Then the orange number is 0770 302 841. All are registered in her name, Muhammad Kane, MOHAMMED KANNEH. Please stretch your hand, because you don't know the good you do today will live after you tomorrow. The word of ours, when your hand continue to be closed, trust me, you can't get anything because you don't give, so nothing will come to you. You think that a bad luck, there's nothing to call bad luck because you don't give. So obviously, it will not be trick up in somebody's heart to give back to you. So that learn to be a giver. Don't just give. Say, oh, I just want to buy today, or you buy me beer. No. This kind of giving we're talking about, when you do it, you are surely you will be blessed. Trust me, there's no joke about it. So Muhammad will be leaving us now. So I will read the mobile number again. Those of you who listening, please, as you leave from here, I want you to call me and say, when I got home, at least I have getting the money and plus. Please. The number again at 0881 723. Yeah, you soon be going 723-202. That's the mobile number for the orange there, for Lone Star. 0881 723-202. Then the orange is 0770-302-841. All registered in his name, Muhammad Cannon. So, Muhammad, yeah, let's hear your parting comment.
Once again, let me say thanks to you. Thanks to each and everyone who host me here on this wonderful great Thursday. Because I can't amaze one or two of my friends here, like Brother Theo Willens.
Okay, let's take this call. Somebody here want to know exactly some other thing. Hello. 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 Oh, I'm okay.
Yeah, I don't want David.
Okay, David. Let's hear you.
Yeah, David, I just joined the conversation.
Okay, David.
But I will want the number to spend $5 for my brother.
Okay. The number is, if you're listening, just take it from me quick.
Yeah, let me take the number.
0881.
781.
Yeah, 723.
723.
202.
202.
Yeah, the
723.
yeah.
202.
Yeah, the name is Muhammad Cannon. Yeah, Muhammad Cannon. Okay, thank you, David Harris. Thank you. So be like David Harris and call. As Muhammad gave a parting comment, be like David Harris and call. And it's a $10, $5. Do it. God will richly bless you, Liberian. I know you are giving people. You're not me. You can give because we know how you can decorate tables around here when birthday come. So try to identify with somebody who needs your help because right now the landlord is asking him, he ain't pay. They will put him outside. Will you blame the landlord too because they own a work he's doing there to be able to survive? The man pay a house to get something in return. Probably the landlord too got family. They had to survive. So they have reduced the money up to $180. And $180, that's some of you people there want suit money, that want shoe money, or you know your enjoyment money there. So please try to share it with another librarian. So Muhammad, you were in flight there for the call king.
Before I reach here, I came and met some of my friends and brother here to your institution here because we once used to communicate before on Joy FM or Brother Theo Willens. You know him very well. Let me say thanks to him for coming here. Also, sis attending nursing. I've also followed her here too. Let me say she also used to be on Joy FM too. Even Fidel City too, and I've been following him even from the former Force FM. Yes, so Costa station. Okay, even Jeffan Anthony Jeffan, Stanley Camara. These are people then they know me. Okay. Even my coffee Clark Giant, where with the Freedom FM, because like I said, told you that I'm a follower of a lot of religious platform in this country. Okay. So all of these guys about one came yet or saw me and then they see me, they start to greet me. So let me say thanks to each and every one of them who also welcome me here too. Let me say thanks to them and also say thanks to you, the senior management team of your institution. Let me say thanks to you to host me here. Let God bring peace and blessing into this great institution.
Amen. Thank you
very much.
All right, that's the voice of Muhammad Cannon. He was my first guest, and he came here for us to blow, trumpet with respect to the situation he faced with. The landlord is asking for his money. He had almost a year, year rent in arrears, and he needed to make sure that the money is actually paid. And from $200+ the landlord took all 6 months, as a way to help him. He can't just do everything free, no. So he thought that, when he called us the last time, we said, but then come over there, all of us sit down, let's discuss it, let's talk to the public. But I'll take a quick break. When we come back, yes, indeed, we will be joining our guest today for to do more talking. So let's go back and enjoy. Let's take a quick break.
But there was a player in the United Kingdom, in England, called Maguire, who was playing for Manchester United. Harry Maguire. He's a defender. He was tackling everybody and throwing his bodies everywhere, that he was seen as the best defender in the world. Manchester United went and bought him. He became the biggest threat at the center of Manchester United's defense, tackling Manchester players and giving assists to opponents. Mr. Speaker, when even the opponents failed to score, Maguire will score for them. But there was a player in the United Kingdom, in England, called Maguire.
Yeah, you together forever. And let nobody put us asunder. Baby, no bad vibes. And I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. Baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. You know you my bestie. You the one I want to see when I wake up from sleep. Baby, you my lovey. Dada we okay. Everybody I see, baby, Dada we okay. Dada we okay. After the ring we gon' be okay. Dada we okay. Hey, gotta be anything you jump from my baby, no bad vibes. And I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. Gotta be anything you jump from my baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. Gotta be anything you jump from my baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. Gotta be needing you jump from my baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. LPM.
Aquabacy, it's like a beat. Lucky ball.
What you do lula neni lady kere. What you do lula, I do things that make you cry. True. And I mean say your love not in my heart. I take the blame, baby, wipe your eyes. Gotta be needing you jump from my baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. Gotta be needing you jump from my baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye-bye. Baby, no bad vibes. In the car, get it. Kasima Kanu doka gbere kanu nyogola Kasima ne na togoma. I'm not going nowhere if you're not there. And I bad vibes. And yo, I can tell you bye bye. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. Yarabini dinya ye jump from my. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. And yo, I can tell you bye bye. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. Bestie, you the one I want to see when I wake up from sleep. Baby, you my lovey. Nafe kilele yemba kunu samadara. Tell her we okay. Everybody I see, baby, tell her we okay. Tell her we okay. After the ring, we gon' be okay. Tell her we okay. Hey, got up in the dinner, yeah, jump from my baby, no bad vibes. And yo, I can tell you bye bye. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. Yarabini dinya ye jump from my. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. And yo, I can tell you bye bye. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. Yarabini dinya ye jump from my. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye bye. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. Yarabini dinya ye jump from my. Nenile baby, no bad vibes. I can tell you bye bye. Nenile baby, no bad vibes.
Madam Danetta Fifi Slayon is here, and she is my guest this afternoon. We will be talking lot of things, but she's already prepared. My producer had already done what we had to do. So with not much to say, I just thought this time to give her the time to introduce herself. Though I call her name, but she can introduce her and tell her who she is. Then, of course, we will tell you exactly what we call her in studio for. Again, it's my pleasure again having you seated in ABC Radio.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you so much. I'm honored to be here. I think this is my third appearance, if not fourth, because I remember the old place up Broad Street.
Right.
Yes, I went there twice. I was invited.
Okay.
I'm so honored to be here.
You're so honored to be here today. And we are so privileged to have the likes of you seated here. And by the way, let me tell you, those of you who don't know, she is an integrity icon. So why are you seeing this? It says it's very difficult to find integrity people in Liberia. No, it's not true. They got one, and she is one of those icons. I can beat my chest for it. So don't ask me a question. But basically today we decided to bring her in the studio. A lot of things been unfolding in our country, Liberia. And some of those things have to do with some of the concerns that you've been raising over there. So many concerns. But precisely to the point, we got some of the things we call for is what are some of those gains made concerning the establishment of the world and war crown courts? Then the U.S. ambassador's speech concerning decentralization of the Liberian government into other parts of Liberia. Then of course, women matters. The security system, the drugs issue, and as the time goes by, we'll all flitter into all of those things. So, again, the audience just sit there and listen. The reason why I took pleasure in this lady sitting before me here, I like to give people their flower while they stay alive. How many of us Liberians in this post-war Liberia will find a grave belonging to an Australian businessman who came to do business here? His script, chuck with US dollar, with every other thing you can think about. When businessmen going somewhere, forgot this grip in a taxi that she was riding along with. And this lady, the man got down 9th Street, and she came further down by total area there, went into Haliska. She got down that area. The driver told her, say, but Manana is grape. She said, no, it's not man grape. The driver insisted that, no, you the last person that you get a grape. She said, now lying here, oh, my people. This lady sitting before me here, I don't know whether she's really from a Liberian parent or that someone an angel in disguise sitting down here. This lady walked back. The white man was looking in every taxi because he was confused. Every jelly taxi you see, you put his inside. People thought he was going crazy. And she went walking back to 19th Street with a great photo of US dollar, my people. It may sound funny, but I'm telling you reality. It's not joke. When the white man saw the woman, he asked her, then please end that part for me. What did the white man ask you?
So he was concerned. Are you a Liberian? That was the first question he asked. Of course, I frowned a little bit because there are also good people in this country. And there are good Liberians who we can look up to as an example. And so if I didn't have this attribute, it means that my parents weren't Liberians.
Right.
And of course, my mother is a Liberian who trained us and disciplined us to the core. So it has gone down. In fact, that was the second time because the first time it was in a refugee bag. The first time I found money in a taxi, it was in a refugee bag.
Phil.
Yes, and I told
Ghana must go refugee bag.
Ghana must go refugee bag, and it was a susu money. And this woman had gotten down to see Michael, and the taxi was stopping New Joy Junction. And she came back, running behind the taxi, thinking she would meet the taxi at New Joy Junction. Thankfully, she saw the taxi at JJY.
Wow.
So the driver and I were talking back and forth, That's your money. I mean, that's your bag. No, that's not my bag. That's your bag. No, that's not my bag.
Again.
Yes. So, an in-law, we say in-law when you marry the person, right? So, an in-law to be then came, who was in the police.
Okay.
And we went back and forth. And fast forward with the story, my boyfriend at the time was like, why didn't you call me? Why didn't you do this? SYT, blah, blah, blah. Call my mother. Your daughter is the most stupidest woman I've ever seen.
Imagine that.
And you see, when your foundation is laid, it's difficult for you to do a lot of things. And sometimes your colleagues, your friends don't think that you are distinguished. They think either you are self-centered or you want to show some sort of what, she is and all that. But it's hard. You won't be able to compromise certain things. So it was like that with me, and I got the scars and the whip. And some of my friends I lecture, and told the story to like, you get rich from that thing, what are you doing?
Is that the blessing that can come once in a while that your own king you threw it away?
And
that
then
was not a blessing.
You never know that because you did that, God added other years upon your years to live. Yes. You know that you had to live X amount of years. And few weeks ago, I came across this woman who had just gotten through her fast. And I saw this woman, my friend and myself were together. And this woman was telling me, you have a good heart. Who are you? I don't know her. She said, you live long. You will beg God to die. You in a person, my friend. You will beg God to die. You will live long. You have a good heart. You have a good heart, but continue to be who you are. A woman of God.
Imagine that.
So, sometimes all through the trials and testing of time.
Because most of the time they'll say, I know, see for fair. Mr. Producer, how do you call it? See for fair? Seeking for fair.
Yeah, whatever you shall see.
They say, I see my own. Imagine somebody found somebody grape. They said, I found my own. God gave it. And now God I gave it. So I just thought to, backtrack a little on who's sitting before me here. Those of you in the diaspora and those listening to us locally. You got integrated people here. Okay. We didn't call for integrated business, but I thought to bring it to let you all know that they got women of substance in this nation, and she one of those women. When we're knocking our chest, we can knock our chest for her. And I can say this, sleeping with us stupor, anytime, all time, whether you like it or not, I will still say it. Yeah, because to ask her, are you a Liberian? That is an insult in earnest. Because what is it you know about Liberia that you ask me what I'm a Liberian? This is also thief living in Liberia. Yeah. But notwithstanding, this is Madam Denetta Fifi Slayon. She's Executive Director, Justice Campaigner Foundation for Human Rights and Democracy, Ford in short. I joined faculty of the Department of Criminal Justice and Forensic Science, African Methodist Episcopal University. That our portfolio there is plenty of, but I just touching some. So as I indicated earlier, our discussion point. But let me just take off from the top to the bottom. I've been hearing in the corridor, in the grapevine, that there have been some of you who actually pen to paper, some progress made so far with respect to the establishment of the war, crime code in Liberia. Can you fill us in?
Yes. I hope to be audible.
Yeah.
But let me just provide a synopsis.
Okay.
Let me just provide a little background on. First of all, I want to erase the word gain.
Okay.
Because when you say gain, then you're talking about accomplishment. You're talking about outcome.
Okay.
Of course, the word economic crimes court has to do with the prosecution of warlords.
Right.
We have not done that yet.
Okay.
So, in my mind, I don't think we have made any gains, but there are strides.
Okay.
There are engagements and interventions
Right.
that have been made. And so, let me just give a little background. So, the coverage of the TRC mandate was from 1989 to 2003. That was when the war took place. And at which time there were military coups, there were military dictatorship, there were brutal repressions, and there were violent conflicts and civil war, state breakdown, and a lot of things happened. There were warlord politics. So within that period, in 2000, October 2000, the UN Security Council endorsed the groundbreaking resolution 1325 that we call Women, Peace and Security. And that was to address the impacts the conflict had on women. So in 2003, there was signing of the Comprehensive Accra Peace Accord.
Okay.
At which time the transitional government then, Judith Bryan, was leaving, and then we're trying to have a democratic elections. So the 2003 Accra Peace Accord happened and then Article 13 of that Accra Peace Accord, Comprehensive Peace Accord, called for the establishment of the war crimes of the establishment of the TRC.
Okay.
The Truth and Reconciliation Commission. So on June 10, 2005, after the National Transitional Government enactment of the TRC, February 22nd, 2006, the TRC became fully operational. They were operating, and the mandate was to investigate, determine responsibility for egregious domestic crimes, violence, human rights violations, under the humanitarian law, gross violations perpetrating against women. A lot of, mandate was being placed at the court. But within the mandate, there were measures to ensure that truth, justice, and reconciliation become permanent within the mandate of the TRC. So, at that core, the features of Liberia's political, social, economic development was a landscape. And we think that during the process of the TRC, after they should have released the report, there will be some sort of healing, there will be some sort of development, there will be some sort of economic empowerment to the landscape of our country, so that we see some development. Liberia has transitioned from a different, atmosphere to a different phase. While she was looking like the war is no different from, but we'll get there. So in 2009 of December, the report of the TRC was released. Out of that report, we noticed there were 20,000 statements that were recorded, 800 public hearings were conducted, And then out of that, there were 207 recommendations. Out of the 207 recommendations, there were 50 recommendations that were meant for women. Talking about free education, compulsory free education. Well, even in the TRC recommendation for women, they were saying when you're pregnant, they said when you're pregnant, you should go to school.
Okay.
Yes, it's there. Michael, that's fine. Women should be given, they should be given the opportunity to take loan, to ascertain loan, and get empowered. So they were all in the TRC report, all in the TRC report.
But then one will be wondering, even though you're giving your
Background.
the background, one will be wondering why we only placing a lot of emphasis on only the quotes, and all of those recommendations, like you talking about empowering women. We are not yet; they are not visible. Why have been the cause?
So there are a lot of factors that are responsible, and we can overemphasize, the different elements that should interplay, because when you speak of democracy, when you speak of governance, it should have a trickle-down effect on the livelihood of the people.
Sure.
Yes. So the full implementation of the TRC recommendation was to ensure that we all come together and work as a people. And of course, fast forward to say, there are international treaties and conventions and covenant that Liberia has signed and ratified, which obligates Liberia to domesticate these treaties. And when you look at the TRC report, you will understand that the ICCPR, the International Covenant on Civil and Political Rights, give her the responsibility to ensure the full implementation of the extraordinary criminal tribunal establishment to perpetrate war criminals, the war that took place in Liberia, for the War Crimes Code, right? So that when you go to the court and you are found guilty, you'll be taken there to face your sentence. So remember, there were 3 cardinal things that were emphasized in the TRC recommendations in the report: truth, justice, and reconciliation. So we cannot obtain reconciliation when there's no justice. We cannot obtain reconciliation when we are not truth-telling. So those were things that were highlighted.
And those 3 cardinals, some should be is on the Palawa hot kind of discussion that will bring about all of those things. So
yes, so you have different classification of how, in different phases of how the implementation of the recommendations should be. The TRC report recommendation. So we have reparation, retributive justice, and of course the War Crimes Court. And we actually place them in a category, and it's not just the civil society alone or the justice campaigners, but it's a wholesomeness of everyone participation. The government has to take the lead. Till now, we're still struggling with a lot of things. So if you look at the ratification, Liberia ratified the ICCPR 2004. 2005, she should have submitted a report. She delayed 11 years without submission of report to the UN Council. So in 2016, she submitted a report.
After 11 years?
After 11 years of delay. Wow. She submitted a report. Out of that report, 2017, the UN committee adopted list of issues, of which there were 26 key questions. Now, whenever there's a report done by the government to the UN Council, civil society also follow up to do a shadow report. And sometimes we also do alternative report. Alternative report has to do with looking at what government has reported and seeing where, government said this and civil society is, on the other hand, doing some regulatory, systematic follow-up to say, okay, government said this is what we have. So those kind of reports are done. So follow up with that. The civil society decided to do a shadow report So a civil society human rights advocacy platform led by Adama Dempster, together with transitional justice actors and justice campaigners, sat down with the funding possibility of the Center for Civil and Political Rights in Geneva, did a shadow report and submitted the shadow report to the UN Council. After the submission of that shadow report, we got a letter. So we're 5 men delegation. I say men to say we're 2 women.
Yes.
The
If
former
figuratively
president,
speaking, yeah.
the former president of the Association of Female Lawyers, Anthony Vivian Neal, was on that delegation. I was on the delegation. Reverend Francis Colley from Prison Fellowship was on the delegation.
Yeah.
Loma Besa and Adama Dempster. So we're 5 that went to the UN in September 2018 to make a follow-up. And we had a private session for the UN Council, and then we had an informal session where, of course, the government of Liberia was represented.
By whom at the time?
It was by the Daku Mulva, who
Okay.
was then the Attorney General.
Attorney General, that's right.
Yes, at the time. And Cassell was also along. Divine Kotokai was on that team. So the Liberian government was represented and the civil society was represented. We did our presentation and there were questions across the board that were asked. Follow up to that, we came back.
But by the way, the group from Liberia, both from the civil society, side and that of the governmental side.
Yeah.
What were the concern raised by UN at the time? Because you're talking about 11 years of delay. Did they bring that issue up to you people?
No, it's not UN. I don't think it's UN who's supposed to bring that issue up. It's, Liberia is one of the founding members of the United Nations, right?
Yeah, that I know.
And so we can sign a contract and say this contract is binding as we sign it. The clauses within this contract thereof.
Yeah.
We are to take responsibility.
Okay.
And then you want somebody to come and remind you.
So that what I'm saying, because saying you fail to live up to expectation, what no
so it is the
concern.
civil society who should remind the government, and so it happened, and then civil society say, okay, we'll use what the government has presented, and out of the report, we'll look at the 26 key questions that came about and do a shadow report to that, flagging out, those crimes that happened during the war.
So the shadow report that come from the civil society end, is it something that they do comparative analysis?
Yes, we look at what the government present, and then we do a report.
Okay.
Yes. We call that alternative report.
All right.
Yeah, shadow report is from what the council, you can even do shadow report from regional bodies, like we have the CEDAW. Yes, the Convention on the Elimination of Discrimination Against Women, all forms of violence against women. We do report. So there are different instruments, that Liberia has signed and ratified that we are obliged to do report on. So after we came back, after our submission, 2018, when we came back to Liberia, we had a representation from the UN Council. Margot Waterval, we met her in Geneva. So she came along and we engaged the legislature. There was a meeting held with the legislature and Honorable Swakoko Dennis, who was then the chairperson on claims and petition. We went to her office, we had a separate meeting with her. And she was in full swing. She worked along with us. And there were a lot of engagements that were done. We also met a speaker, Honorable Buffers Chimo. We met him. He gathered his representatives in the conference room, and our international partners were there, and we had an engagement, and we're able to solicit 54 signatures out of that engagement. So I'm just providing you this information so that you understand how far we have come with
the trends
this.
are events.
Yes, how far we have come with this. And of course, there have been promises made from the government, and the president has said a lot. He has said so many good things about, providing us the space for the establishment, but we are yet to get the political will. We don't know what the delay is. And it's tiring, but we can get tired. we can get tired. So after the 2018 engagement, in 2018 we had the chief prosecutor for war crimes came to Liberia, Steve Rapp, and there was a national justice conference that was held at Corina Hotel. And that conference was as a result of the positive outcome from the meeting that was held with the legislature. So we had representation from the legislature, from the ministries, and Ministry of Justice, of course, and all the relevant stakeholders. We had the chiefs and elders represented. Internal Affairs was there in full. We had the Religious Council represented, and we had people cut across, the different spheres of our society in that room discussing the importance of our peace and reconciliation and justice in this country. And so we think that so much efforts have been applied, but we ask ourselves, have we gotten there? No. Have we made some gains? No. We have not made some gains. So there's so much that needs to be done. In May 15 to the 18th of 2019, a national colloquium was held in Bon County. And that colloquium brought together academics, former and present government officials, traditional chiefs and elders, religious groups, women and youth leaders, and different stakeholders for the same participation and interventions to be, proffered for the establishment of the War Crimes Court. So it's like we have gone down to the rural parts and touched we had another engagement in Bomi.
And yet
we are yet to get
the political will is not there to push.
Yes, from the president. So our efforts, we're not getting tired anytime soon. We believe in our president, and we know that this is the time.
But what stretch of should I say, well, not imagination, what the word chose a word, what eyes are the international community, especially the justice, portion of the international community looking at us here in Liberia? How are they looking at us? Because they have done everything they could. They have strengthened you people. Officials have come and sat with you and discussed everything. From civil society point to the government point, and yet still the political will is not there from the presidency. How are they looking at us as a nation? That claim that people lost their life, 200,000 plus human beings lost their life. That claim that people were, raped, killed, and all of those things. What are we doing? How are they looking at us?
It's kind of difficult to say how we've been seen, but I can tell you that people use different lenses to engage or to make relevant issues. And the outside world is still looking to see why Liberia has not. Most especially, it's so sad when you hear your national leaders say, we are all interconnected, we are all interrelated, and we don't want this war crimes court, and we don't think it can happen. What happens to the other people? I am providing a pro bono consultancy for an organization called Power of Enego Liberia. We went behind number 3, Grand Bassa County. There's one town that have never experienced a hut to call this is a school since the establishment of our country.
Just compound number 2 here.
Behind number 3.
Behind number 3, okay.
The people are hungry for their children to go to school. So Nego Liberia had an opportunity and decided to establish a preparatory school. The mode of teaching is different. So in Monrovia, it's easier for us to bring apple home for our children, right? So A is for apple, it's easy. On that side, A is not for apple because the kids have not seen apple. A is for animal because they can easily identify animal. And the mode of teaching there is You say it in the English, and somebody
You
does the
interpret.
translation or
Oh, God.
interpret it in the dialect.
In this modern age of ours.
And then we'll come over report and say that the education system of our country is. I mean, right? I'm not talking about Green Crew or Maryland. So if right behind number 3, Grand Bassa County, if you can have a town that has not experienced a school building, then what much more? There's another town called Gwen. Gwen, since 10 years, Nickel Liberia is the first institution to carry a school there. Since 10 years ago.
On our educational, streamline, when you look there, all the places are captured. It is a budgetary allocation.
Of course, they are captured.
They are captured.
They are captured. When we were going, I was telling the CEO, Amos, when are we going to reach? We went along with one of Nickel's partners. And this woman was celebrating her 50th birthday and thought to celebrate with the kids.
God in heaven.
And she got book bags and different, stuff. Let me call her name. Pastor and Mistress Irene Wallace. Yes, we went there. And it was amazing to see how excited these kids were.
They are
They were
Liberian
so
though.
happy.
They are Liberian though.
They are Liberians. They were so happy. I got a picture of a boy who looks like a girl. He didn't want to leave me. He didn't want to leave me until the CEO was like, Danielta is no denier of this because you with children all the time. I said, yeah, I'm a Sunday school teacher. I started with 9 kids. Today they are pushing 100 plus. So it hurts anyone who want to see the development of children. Who want to see the development of children. It hurts. And if we must move this country forward, we have to be intentional. We have to be intentional and sit at a round table and have a national vision on what we want for our country.
But our leaders always present their quote
But our
unquote,
leaders are saying, we are all, if we are all interrelated, why my brother in Gwen Town has not experienced education? Why the old man who is 86 years old is so excited to see Nickel Liberia open a proprietary school? But the challenge is the students will not come once full finish. And Nickel Liberia has not gotten any donor funding. Nickel Liberia has been doing this through the help of LBDI. Nickel Liberia has a box there at the bank. She also has boxes at the different churches
for people to drop.
where people drop in. And that's how she's supporting those initiatives. So you see, we need to go above politics. This is not about political flavor, no. I didn't come to spice anybody up. I didn't come to provide.
And that's
any
not
kind of,
that's not the agenda of this platform anyway.
Yeah.
To come and spice up politics, no.
yeah. So I think the engagements made over the period has been so much so that we think the president will be thinking now, what can I do?
So everything is at a bus stop in front of his doorstep.
It's at his desk.
He need to wake up down to the reality that
It's,
you
of
need to
course.
do something about this thing to get it moving, because the international community had done their part and we have done ours, and it is you now, Mr. President, need to
Exactly.
gather the courage
Exactly.
to speak what you told us in time past.
Exactly. That you will do.
You
Your
will do.
promises made.
Right.
I'm going to do this. I will make sure that this happens. You come back in the country, the narrative changes. Where are we? Imagine you telling your child, your son, that you're going to make sure that he goes to Harvard University or Cambridge, and he does
And
all he can.
you financial wise, you are capable.
Yes, you have the money.
Yeah.
All you need to do is to just make some few touches. That's all. In fact, you even have people who will say, just come up to say you agree. Will come up with the funding possibility to help your son. And you sit and do nothing about it. So it's so sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. The involvement of women groups, because we have the Women NGO Secretariat also who took up, the initiative in March 2022 to do an enhancing women's meaningful participation in the national advocacy for accountability for war crimes. And that thing was to address barriers that women's participation in the implementation and monitoring of the TRC recommendation in Liberia face. So those are the things they are looking at. How can women get involved with the process? Because when you look at the war that took place in this country, women were victimized.
They were the breadwinner, though.
Yes. They became wives overnight for the warlords and their talks of gangs. And today the scar is there.
Yeah.
My father was slaughtered into pieces. He was killed. And you're saying that victims, survivors from the war should keep quiet, we should not talk.
We are interrelated.
And we are interrelated.
And people are enjoying the largesse of the people. When the victims and the family are sitting down looking at those who perpetrated those things.
Exactly.
Enjoying the largesse of their rights.
Exactly. So it's somewhat a kind of constraint, but like I said, justice campaigners and civil society actors will not get tired, because we can afford to see us go back to those days. The book of Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 11 says that when people commit crimes and nothing is being done, no punishment for the evil they do, there's a possibility of evil to arouse in the heart of men to do more evil.
And we see it today. And we seeing it. Broad day, people have been chased with knife and gun and shoot, and people have been shot at in broad daylight.
After I went up Broad Street, I was coming.
Yeah.
They were beating my car because there was a little traffic. Those guys are asking me I should get in something. In fact, they were spying through. When they saw, they said, "Oh, that woman, our B said she got something for us."
Yeah.
And they were demanding what I had it to give. They don't know. But I'm constrained and I have my own challenges. They don't know. All they want something. And believe you me, once you bring your windshield down, you don't give it. You on your own. Either they spit on you.
All right.
Or they slap you.
Yeah. Or they take something from your car and walk away. In the
That's
full
how
glare of the
dangerous.
security people,
Yes.
they walk away with all
A police
things.
officer was just there. He had switched his hand looking for a motorcyclist to whip. He was just right there. He was just right there. So the issue of where we are today with the establishment of the extraordinary criminal tribunal that was recommended in the TRC report is still a question.
It's still a question.
Because we have not gotten a political will.
Well, if you just joined the program, ABC Hard Talking, of course, my guest today is Danietta Fifi Slarion, and we're talking about the establishment of the courts that were being foretold by the TRC. It's not the making of her, but rather Liberian chose that they would have had three cabinet issues. That's one is retributive justice, is it?
Yes, retributive justice,
reparation, and war crime, tribunal.
Yeah,
and we are not seeing any of it being implemented since we left Ghana. The Ghanaians used their tax money to keep us there for months. We are back home and still the same thing. But let's transition a little bit to the other topic. We'll just use it. We're not taking break now. We'll just use it because the time is fast spent. Now, let's go a little bit more to leaving the shows of the TRC, and then we'll come to the show of the ambassador of the United States of America, accredited near this capital. His recent outburst after taking excruciating 3 weeks of pain on our bad roads to go and assess what is going on around the country. This is hard talk, so we're talking high. We don't mince our words here. So you heard it and you are read it. What do you make of it?
So I heard it, I heard it and I read it. The first thing is the U.S. ambassador is on a diplomatic mission. And I saw in diplomacy, when you're leaving where you're stationed to go anywhere, the foreign ministry should be aware.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking in my mind whether the ambassador left as an ambassador to the different countries or he left as some security, or I don't know. That's what I was thinking the first time I read the report, whether the foreign ministry was informed. Now, when you hear U.S. ambassador accredited near Monrovia is where his office is situated, but he is an ambassador for the country.
Right.
There were a couple of things that he flagged out in his speech. And like I said earlier, I don't have the political lens to provide some political taste or juice, for people who will be having itchy ear to say, oh, she's going to critique. It's the same issue we continue to flag about the culture of impunity. Accountability must happen. Even in the homes, when people give you money, the expectation is that you will come back to account to them how you spend the money.
Right.
To go to the market, how much fish you bought, pepper, how much.
Which is normal, man.
Yes.
It's a normal practice.
But it is almost trashing off our society now. Rather, people will intentionally want to work with people who cannot account for anything. Say, oh, leader man, I don't want to say him, man. But accountability is as crucial as democracy for good governance purpose.
This is one of the pillars.
It's one of the pillars. And there are 3 pillars of democracy: accountability, anti-corruption, and the rule of law. So there's no way we can abstract accountability when we speak of democracy and we talk about good governance. So there are a couple of things that the U.S. ambassador flagged in his speech, after his visitation to all of the counties in Liberia, because he said he went, not some, he went to the southeast, and later he went to the other counties, and he was able to digest. And when you listen from the beginning of the speech, he said he fulfills his promise to the U.S. Congress to be an ambassador to all Liberia and Monrovia.
Yeah. So
I'm thinking, was there a mandate from the Congress that he has to make this trip? One of the reasons why international community or partners will not infringe to say, do this, do that, is because they don't want to infringe on our sovereignty.
Right.
Yes, they don't want to come into space where they are not to be in. So the ambassador, fulfilling his promise to Congress tells me that there was a whole package. And out of that package, there was just a portion that was being made available to us. He said also that the United States government was about to spend over $40 million constructing Liberia's state-of-the-art National Reference Laboratory, the NRL. But his fear is, if Liberia government cannot account for $100,000, how sure is he that they'll be able to account for 3 to 4 million? That's an integrity issue.
For maintenance.
Yeah, it's an integrity issue. And I will say this to say that we want to protect the peace, the existing peace, fragile peace in our country. We are about to go to elections, and we also look up to our international partners to safeguard the process of our elections. In these times, statements, when they are not guided well, and the utterances that are made, if we are not careful in handling information dissemination, it brings a kind of rubbing force, yes, that causes violence. Yes, that causes violence. So we also want to be careful. So when you told me about providing some light on the issues of the ambassador's speech, I was like, there you go, Joe, there you go.
But were you opportune to read a government counter with respect to?
So I read it shortly because I had an online class.
Okay.
So I read it shortly. But I like to exhaust the information before I come up with a rebuttal, which is good because you want to harmonize your thoughts and you want to make sure that whatsoever information that is provided is safe somewhere, whereby if there should be a counter accusation or reference made on your statement, you are able to go back to say, these were what I said. So I like that you are recording this. I like that you know we're going live with it because it has this kind of life has its own way of storing information that you can easily go back to make reference.
Right.
Yeah.
But one person who have been very keen and following and came over for staying into this whole issue from the ambassador's standpoint was Honorable Rosalind Swakoko Dennis.
Okay.
Yeah. Let me quickly, because of time factor, let me just quickly read one of the communication within their, section, what she did by calling on the Speaker of the House to tell him about what she noticed, okay, and the concern. She raised alongside with her friends. So I just thought for the sake of the public, to none other than seated because we from the presentation of the ambassador, it speaks to me that holistically these guys they didn't know that they been follow, their activities been follow. But when I read the communication that she sent to the speaker, it tells me that they have been working in there, but probably because our democracy is like, but she not from our camp. What she want to try to prove,
But
So
it's
someone
good
who-
to speak. I like Honorable
Yeah.
Rosalind Swakoko Dennis.
That's right.
Yes,
This
and
is
it's
the
good to
communication
speak your mind.
she forwarded since January 28, 2022. Honorable Buffer Chamber Speaker, 54th Legislative House of Representatives. It says, dear Honorable Speaker, I present my compliment and right to remind you about the communication that Honorable Hansen Kazulu and I wrote resubmitting on January 27, 2022, requesting to have the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, MFDP, submit to this honorable body a outturn and fiscal deficiency report for fiscal year 2019 to 2020 and 2020 to 2021 and revenue generation report for the last budget year. Then it says here again, the speaker, since the plenary of the House of Representatives mandated the Committee on Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning to report to plenary in 2 weeks, to have the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning submit an outturn and fiscal deficiency report for fiscal 2020, 2019, 2022, 2021, and revenue generation report for the last 2 budget year. We have not getting any report from the committee. Imagine from their end. So it says here, I write to bring to your attention that it has gone 1 month since the committee was asked to report to plenary. Honorable Speaker, I crave your indulgence of plenary that the Committee of Ways, Means, Finance and Development Planning gave a full update in section in compliance with plenary mandate. They ask, dear Committee on Ways, Means and Finance, to give them outturn fiscal budget, how much was collected, what of our expenses up to this present. So in-house, you have people asking hard questions. But because they're from the other side of the divide, they have not been heard. And you and I seated here had no idea. If the ambassador had not brought up this issue, we won't see such a communication coming outside to the public glare to be read.
Yeah, that's why I said people are gonna use different lenses.
Right.
To analyze the speech of the ambassador, the U.S. ambassador. What Rosalind Swakoko Dennis, Honorable Rosalind Swakoko Dennis did there is good, and from her position as a representative, I think it has delay because that should have been long.
Long.
Should have been long. but we appreciate the efforts. Whatsoever that was said, the statements, the different lines in the address, the speech of the ambassador, all boils down to decentralization.
Right.
And we cannot explain so much, the fight that over centralization has undermined democratic governance, popular participation, social economic development in Liberia. We can't overemphasize that. And it is only through systems of local self-governance that local community can better utilize their full potential when it comes to service delivery. The Decentralization Act has been signed. What are we waiting for? What is Governance Commission saying? What is Ministry of Internal Affairs saying? So I think it has to be a conversation where we all sit to the table and discuss. Where are we?
Well, the question is, the past administration put all of these puzzle together to make it, a working tool. What had happened to it since this government came into being? What had happened to those puzzles?
And we say government is continuity.
Right.
So there has been lapses, there are flaws in the system. And until we can undesirably exclude ourselves and put Liberia in the picture, we're going nowhere. We have to see Liberia as the factor, as the common denominator, as the one we're all fighting for. But where we place selves, we're not going to achieve anything. And this has been over and over and over, and people don't want to account. People don't want to account. So you understand, if you say democracy is for the people, by the people, and of the people, where are the people in the picture? Where are the people? I was coming from church the last time, and I was driving alone, so I thought to help people who were coming from church and going my direction. I helped this lady who was calling, making telephone call, that she was bringing in close to 10 boys to ride motorcycle in Monrovia. They were coming from your county, Nimba County, some part of the interior in Nimba.
So that's the new employment now.
Because life is happening right within Central.
That's right.
There's no trickle down effect of service delivered to the people. Even with the budgetary allotment, what happens to the local authority, the superintendents? See what was said in the ambassador's speech. He had an exchange with the people, and they said they have not received anything.
He met them one-on-one. They talk.
Nothing. Anybody will be discouraged. Imagine you give your child school fees to go and pay. And you go to the school, and all of the other parents are seated, and you can get a report card for your child because the child has not been paying fees. I mean, I just thought to share this example. So it hurts anyone. And believe you me, most times when we're providing critical analysis around the developmental orientation of our country, we tend to say, America is not doing much for Liberia. America is not doing much for Liberia. Even journalists. Doing the different talk shows on the different radio stations. America has not done much. It was just small NGO called ACS that colonized us. So America now is coming rigorously to say, look, if you can, how sure are we that you can?
And man, let's not forget, the ambassador said in his write-out that I went to visit to acquaint myself with America-funded project alongside Liberia. He didn't say they want Liberian government involved where I'm going to put my money inside. And what do we say here in our local parliament? Where your money is, where your money is supposed to be.
Where your treasure is, there where your heart is.
That's right.
Where your heart is, there where your treasure lies.
Remember, when he came from the beginning, he said the entire Liberia should have been electrified. Because the billions of dollars that came.
It's the same issue of accountability.
That's right. They are not been accounted for.
There's no fear.
No fear. People put their hand and just use it and say, "Who are you to talk to me? Who you
And
think you are?"
people should be held accountable.
You know.
People should be held accountable.
But we'll soon be engaging the phone line, so I see a lot of people trying to call now to be part of our discussion. I don't know what this person want to be part of our discussion. Hello, you want to be part of our discussion in studio, sir or madam? Hello.
No, okay, sorry, bro. This is pretty small. I thought we could talk up loud.
Oh, sorry. Okay, I'll call you back, sir. Sorry. Because I live on the radio, that's why. Sorry, I'll call you back, sir. Okay, 077-105-100 and 055-105-100 number to call, and we talking about the ambassador speech. In fact, we're talking about the TRC and the economic crime codes that's what we started from, and now we're talking about the ambassador speech. So you can we got the next 5 minutes for those of you who have been following the discussion and want to talk to us about it. So call us down on 077-105-100 and 055-105-100 number to call and let's make it interactive. Let's hear from you, Liberian, wherever you are. Call and let's make it interactive. Let me hear from you and what's your own take. Let's go to the phone line and talk to the first caller. Hello.
How are you?
Yeah, my name. I'm okay.
Yeah, Anthony calling from Lugunta.
Okay, Anthony, they hear you.
Yeah, the ambassador information is practical, not theoretical. But what there to me is that if you went on there when people go on it.
No. Hello, excuse me. Please. No. I beg you. Let's restrict ourselves to the discussion here. Please leave it. You and me out.
Okay, let me get to the point now.
Mm-hmm.
The man.
Oh, sorry, you're gone off. I didn't cut you off. Sorry, that the network, please. When you call, I beg you. I don't want you calling people name here. Deal with the issues that we're discussing here in studio. The ambassador, Joe Warner, and his guests. Please discuss us. Forget about whoever said whatever it is on their own show, please. We don't discuss people in this building. We discuss issues. 077-105-100, 055-105-100. If you listen to my guests say people use different lenses to discuss the outcome of the ambassador speech. So don't compare their own with our own here. I beg you. 077-105-100 and 055-105-100 number to call. That make it interactive. We don't have much of time because time is for essence in broadcasting. So we don't have that luxury of time. So you either call now or you hold your peace until the Lord for your battle. 077-105-100 and 055-105-100. If you also want to be part of it, call us on +235. So +231, and 077-105-100 and +231 055-105-100. So call now, or better still, like I said, you hold your peace until the Lord fights your battle. So let me hear from you, Liberian. Those of you who have been following the discussion, let's hear from you. We got less than 5-10 minutes in studio here, so let's hear from you quickly. 077-105-100 and 055-105-100, the number to call. Now, the situation is that, Madam Slavion, the ambassador says in our quote that marriage certificate for the last 5 years are not been printed because there's no printer, but yet budgets were allocated for this place. And ironically, one of the representatives from Bon County, Nakache, said, I put this money in the budget for clinic and its operation. I decide what I do with that money. Knocking his chest, telling the poor Liberia that. Like a farm, you allocated this one for the farm working, and what have you. The Liberian people tax money. He said he put that one there. And that had been a discussion on radio for the past time.
So follow up have not been made.
No.
When you place money somewhere, you should be able to make
follow up
as to its implementation. What was the purpose of the funding that was made available? You see, so decentralization is the application of practicality of government. It's not a theory.
No.
It's a diverse array of governance.
Right.
So you want to make sure in the governance process you also going down to the people and you're not checking. Sometimes people, you don't trust me. No, I trust you, but I want to make sure.
That's accountability. That's right.
It's possible, right? There's possibility that what is meant for what was given you was not used for its purpose.
That's right.
So it's good. Accountability is good. Most times people see the technicality aspect of it instead of looking at the overall generic good to say, I think he meant well or she meant well. But the thing that the aspect of accountability is witch hunt. It's
But
not witch hunt.
if we can praise all of our neighbors, you know, they are moving fine with activities. It's because of accountability.
Exactly.
Oh, so we don't want to watch the beautiful action show, but we don't want to live by the rules that are laid down to get such a better action show.
Which is not.
No, that's not reality. The reality of life is, like you said, accountability. Whether it's your father, it's your mother, it's your partisan, it's your whoever, because you took onto the people mantle.
Sure.
Give me your, responsibility. Let me, and you got to give account of your stewardship. Exactly. I don't know how people look at governance.
Exactly.
You need to give account of your stewardship.
Exactly.
It doesn't matter who sat there.
No.
What matter is you collected our taxes and tell us how it was used.
Exactly.
Simple as that. Even if you go from here to Guinea, tell us how much you spend on the road, how much left in your hand, how much, when you give it the budget, we say bring back the money, but tell us exactly. When we had to break down the road, the tire bought new tire, bring out the receipt, the market down in the papers. Let's get to know that next time when you go in Guinea, we'll make sure we'll give you, instead of $100, we'll give you $500 sure. Because we know the road to Guinea is not a good road.
And I try to practice that. The revised central bank law says that any transaction that is above $500 Liberian dollars, you should obtain receipt.
That's it.
So when I go to buy to the food store, when I ask for receipt, the guys are looking at me like, where's she coming from?
Where's she coming from?
And I'm telling them, I'm making quotations, and I'm telling them, no, I'm entitled to receipt.
Right.
I wanted to do my hair. I want to get hair. I seen the guy for receipt. He looking at me. You just coming? I say, yes, I just came. And we laugh about it. And he said, you technical, when you come here, I will know how to deal with you. Let people know you for who you are.
That's right.
Don't change for the satisfaction of other people. Be yourself and stick to the core. Try to do the right thing. We're not perfect.
Yeah.
But in all of our human imperfection, we should be able to try our best to doing the right thing.
Right.
To doing the right thing.
That all that I require of you and myself to do the right thing.
Because what we want to see is Liberia being better. Last year, we went, Councillor Tiawon Gonglo, Councillor Mohammed Sharif, and I, 3 representation from Liberia at the ECOWAS on the same transitional justice issue about the War Crimes Court. And at the ECOWAS, all of the presidents of the West Africa Bar Association were represented. I think I was the only non-lawyer. Yes, and I got an invitation, a letter in my inbox that you need to be to be at
this conference,
this ECOWAS meeting. And I had Councillor Tiawon Gonglo gave me the platform and said, you're the only female with us, you have to speak on behalf of Liberia. And I was told to do a presentation on plea bargaining as it relates to the TRC recommendations. So you see, we've gone far, like I said, with the engagement, far. What we need from the president is a political will. It's not to harm the process of his governance or his government strings and other things, but it's to make sure that we heal from this culture of impunity. We heal. If people are persecuted for issues of accountability, what it does is that it sets a roadmap so that others will follow. But when you have government come in succession and keep saying we are interrelated and this, that, it means that we'll just be lackadaisical with our country. And just
time is for essence actually. Time I actually caught up with us. So, nevertheless, we will engage ourselves as time go by with this thing because it is political time.
Yes, it is.
So once you don't dive into much of politics, people kind of listen. They say, okay, we hear what they're talking.
Yeah.
So with that, let me get your parting comment, and we try to take a leave of this platform.
So what I want to say is that the opportunities for our country's development lie within the shadow of the design and strength that we put in the development process of our country. If we say Liberia stays like this, Liberia remains like that. It's a holistic calling. It's everybody coming together to see what we can do for our country.
Okay.
What we can do. You don't want to lay a foundation for your children tomorrow and then become something else.
Okay.
And then you have other people coming into the fray to do the unusual. We got lots and lots of things that need to be uncovered. So many things that need to be done. And we cannot do it on our own as civil society actors, as human rights, as justice campaigners, as Liberians cut across from different sectors of our society. But we need to come together in oneness and a wholesome mind to say, what is it that we want for our country? Can we have a national vision, a national plan, and have it scripted as a tool so that government in, government out, government in will look at it as a roadmap and as a framework to work with. So I want to say thank you to ABC Radio. Thank you. It's always an opportunity to be here. Let me not say much off air, then we will talk here. But I'm so honored. Thank you so kindly.
Okay.
Even though it was just yesterday, I got a call like,
thank you.
Daniel, you need to come.
Yeah.
And I said,
no, obviously
okay,
that's the job there. So sometimes when we look into our closet, we say, oh no, I remember this person. We can come and discuss this thing. Yes. So it was based on that I would thought to give you that short notice. But thank you for taking the time off your busy schedule to grace this platform with your presence.
Thank you.
We are so much elated and so much happy that the likes of you, integrity icons, still surviving in our midst. So thank you very much for being part of it.
You say integrity icon, the people be thinking I won some icon.
President, we actually have given you the all the money they give now low, but didn't hear your story?
But mind you, I'm one of the board members of the Accountability Lab.
Okay.
Of which Lawrence Yellow is the country director.
Yeah. Our campus,
And I work as one of the judges for Integrity Icon.
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah, so
you see?
I work along with one of BBC correspondents.
Wow.
Yeah, so
so no mistake on your Integrity Icon,
so
though.
I was selected by the Scottish, retired work bank Scottish guy who has Accountability Lab. But it's so much joy, to have this exchange with you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, that's it. So tomorrow, Theo Williams and Anthony Jeffan will be able to give you the weekend edition of our beautiful, beautiful platform. That is the ABC Hard Talk. And here we talk the talk hard. Of course, voice or character assassination. Thank you for being there. My name is Joe Nutra Wonder, and I've been here alongside my duo technicians. He no other than the man himself, Smith. Smith who been here between 2 and 10, making sure that you see all live in America and Europe and other places. So bye-bye. Have a pleasant evening, and of course, stay tuned for more goodies on our radio.